Welcome back to 5 Sports. Today, I'm going to be predicting how each team will place in the Premier League this season. These opinions are my own, based on how I feel each team will perform under their manager, as well as the players they gained and lost during the transfer window. Let's get into it. Starting off at the bottom of the table, the three sides I predict will be relegated will be Sheffield United, Norwich and Brighton. Sheffield are back in the Premier League after 12 seasons, however, don't quite have the strength in their squad, as well as the Premier League experience to compete with their ambition of survival. They have tried acting on this by signing striker Ollie Burney for 20 million, as well as bringing back experienced centre-back Phil Jagielka, but I don't reckon that would be enough, as I expect relegation to be confirmed before May. Norwich tore teams apart with their attacking football last season, with Timu Pukki scoring 29 goals in the Championship. However, their defence looked vulnerable, and I expect that to be exposed a lot more now they're in the Premier League. They will look to Pukki for goals, but even if he can produce, it may not be enough for survival. Brighton survived relegation by 2 points last season, ultimately leading to Chris Hughton's departure. Graham Potter comes in, with the aim of keeping them in the Premier League. They've hit the market this window to try and strengthen their squad, but most of them are improving in the Premier League. This won't be Potter's only Premier League spell, but even Glenn Murray won't be able to save them from relegation this time around. Just managing to survive relegation this season is Newcastle United. The hatred between Newcastle fans and Mike Ashley has hit an all-time low, with Steve Bruce replacing the beloved Rafa Benitez. It will be a tough season for the club, but some strong signings in St Maxim and Joe Linton may be enough to keep them afloat, although I doubt the relationship between the fans and their owner will improve anytime soon. Aston Villa find themselves in 14th place after spending over 130 million during their transfer window. Some question the transfers they've made, including spending over 20 million on Tyrone Mings, but they've addressed some key areas to go along with the main core of their squad. They'll have their difficulties early on, but Dean Smith will keep a tight ship and help the side play their best football near the conclusion of the season. Crystal Palace's finish will be determined by if Wilfried Zaha remains with the club. Zaha is one of the biggest threats outside the top 6 clubs, and without him, Palace could become relegation candidates. They managed to keep hold of him this window, and along with veteran centre-back Gary Cahill joining the defence, expect Palace to be safe. To begin the top half of the table, I have Leicester City. A slight dip in position for the club, losing Harry Maguire is a big loss to their defence, with no replacement currently in sight. There's plenty of quality in the side, with the likes of James Maddison and Yuri Tielemans, but the loss of Maguire will be more crucial than some believe. I predict Wolves to have a slight dip as well. I think Wolves have had a strong transfer window, retaining key players, along with bringing in quality talent such as Jesus Valiol and Patrick Catrone. However, the club do fall under second season syndrome, along with competing in the Europa League. Wolves managed to pick up some big results against the top 6 last year, while struggling against some sides near the bottom of the table. The former will be hard to maintain this time around, as they look to use more depth due to their fixtures in the Europa League. West Ham go up a few spots this season. Sebastian Haller looks like a top signing to lead the line, with great talent in behind such as Felipe Anderson, Lanzini and Yarmolenko once he returns from injury. Manuel Pellegrini is one of the league's top managers, and after a year of chopping and changing his side, year 2 seems to be a strong one for the Claret and Blue, as you have his preferred lineup. The biggest shock of my predicted league table may come in the battle for 6th place. Over the past few seasons, 6 clubs have really separated themselves from the rest of the pack, dominating these European spots. However, this year it changes. I have been mightily impressed by Everton's transfer window so far. Moise Kean is one of Europe's top prospects. I'm certain, even at the age of 19, he'll hit the ground running and provide a goal-scoring threat up top, something the club lacked last season. Richarlison and Sigurdsson look to kick off their talents even further this year, with their midfield strengthened further with the additions of Fabian Delph and Andre Gomez on a permanent deal. The only weakness I see in particular is centre-back, after they failed in their attempts to bring Kurt Zouma back to the club. The squad is becoming close to the quality of Man United's, however, that is not the reason United don't make the top 6. United became a mess during the early stages of last season. Even though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picked them back up, the honeymoon period ran out during the last season's conclusion, and the cracks are bound to show coming into this year. I did like the fact that they strengthened their defence with English talents Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. However, it is not enough. The relationship between the club and Paul Pogba doesn't look great, and even though he's proved his quality on the pitch, the club would be better off letting Pogba go to Madrid. If United want to improve on this finish, they'll need Marcus Rashford to improve on his 10 league goals from last season, along with David De Gea returning to his best form. 4th place. The position it seemed nobody wanted last season, as all 4 teams in contention finished the season poorly. 4th place is where I have placed Chelsea this year, something I believe the fans and the club will be happy with. Lampard's first season brings a lot of questions, especially without being able to bring in any new players. He will be relying on young talent producing the goods, but even without Eden Hazard, they still have world-class players in their squad. Arsenal have mightily improved this window. Pepe is a tremendous attacking talent to add alongside Aubameyang and Lacazette, making them the most feared attacking trio, excluding City and Liverpool. Arsenal will be neck and neck with Chelsea. However, it is their lack of strength in already weak defence that will once again cost them Champions League football. Spurs aim to springboard from the success of their Champions League run last year, comfortably picking up 3rd place. Ndombele and Lo Celso are strong acquisitions that show their intent to challenge Liverpool and City, but that's a challenge that won't come this season. Harry Kane seems back to full fitness, and ahead of Euro 2020, I back the striker to claim the Golden Boot. After a neck and neck title race last season, with Liverpool breaking the record for most points not to win the league, I believe it will be a slightly easier run for City this year. Liverpool have decided against using the transfer window this summer, minus a couple of youth signings. The attacking trio of Mane, Firmino and Salah are all coming off their 2nd consecutive summer of football, by featuring in the African Cup of Nations and Copa America. A strong depth option for the 3 to rotate in, along with an addition to the midfield, should have been brought in. The defence, however, is still the least strongest, and will be hoping to keep a tight ship once again. City look to build off last year's treble. They finally found a defensive midfield option alongside Fernandinho, with Rodri coming in from Atletico, something that became a weakness in their side when Fernandinho was injured. Bringing in Cancelo from Juventus when they already have Kyle Walker really shows the club's intention not to be complacent. The only weakness they might have is a centre-back next to Laporte. Kompany was the preferred option in the big games last year. Now Stones and Otamendi will have to step up, with the former captain finishing his career at Anderlecht. To conclude, it's going to be a very exciting season ahead. The quality of players throughout the league is much better than ever before. I'm bound to get some of these predictions wrong, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a nice day.